The party sets out on another trek, but don't get very far before another blizzard starts kicking up. The party frantically gather what firewood they can, hoping it will help them survive the deadly weather. By day 4, trapped in their small tent, the party is starting to grind on each other. On the 6th day, the blizzard blows itself out and the party decide to restock their depleted supplies. They discover another storm is picking up, so once more the party scramble. During this time, Yaramir discovers a frozen human body, perfectly preserved in strange garb. He decides to drag it back to camp. They put it near the fire, and when it thaws it starts oozing pus, and the party quickly toss it out of the tent. The party start to worry that the body could be host to some dark and unknown disease. The next day they examine the body further and decide to chop off a hand. But once they do, both the hand and the arm start liquefying into pus. On further examination, it seems that the insides of the body is goop, but the skin is frozen and also bears traces of magic. They decide it would be best to burn the body and head for Nash's cave before another storm hits. Yaramir uses magic to heat up the party for the trip. They push themselves to their physical limits and make it to the cave just in time. There are signs in the cave that the gnolls, or some other intelligent being, has been to the cave since the party was last here, but it was abandoned. Again they are trapped for 6 days by the weather. Fortunately, the cave is well stocked and there is enough space so the party doesn't get under each other's skin. They scoured the tomb in the 6 days, but find nothing of value or any hidden areas. Once the weather clears, the party decide to start scouting the surrounding area, hoping to find anything of value. They find small shelters here and there, but no other traces of ruins. Grimes scales the mountain and not only gets a good vantage of the whole area, but also spots some smoke in the distance. The party reconvenes at camp and decides their next move. What was with the goopy body? What are the gnolls up to? Where the hell are all the ruins? Let's find out now on Frozen Frontier.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Frozen Frontier. It has been forever since we've all played together.
Hurrah!
Hurrah. We did our recaps and catch-ups in the pre-show, so for those of you on YouTube, you don't have to listen to us recap or catch up.
Yep.
And you got Ryan to thank for that.
I would say check out the Twitch VODs, but I'm sure they've been muted, and we've probably all been put on, I don't even know.
Government watches.
Government watch list.
Yeah. Our phones are now tapped. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks.
That's all right. And the best part is nobody on YouTube knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. You had to be there, guys. You had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys all listened to the recap.
Yeah.
Give me the recap. Where are you right now?
We are swimming in the ocean.
Yeah,
I think we might have to roll a warmth check.
we sailed out and now we're relaxing on a beach in Dreki.
So we ended with me having a really bad migraine and like dying. But if I remember correctly, Grimes scaled a mountain as we were searching for Bokasa's clan, and he saw a campfire. According to our unreliable narrator, callback. Hey. Over here on the map where I'm pinging, which is roughly, we measured 24 miles away, which is a bit far.
For the record, Grimes did not triangulate that.
Like this area, getting mountains for Grimes to climb.
Yeah, and we're sleeping in some small cave that we found south of the Null Tomb, right?
Yep. That's what that blue X is all about.
So I think we are bereft of any other leads other than this campfire, and the campfire itself is quite intriguing.
Leads. There's an enormous amount of smoke. I mean, there's camps
Sorry, not
close over
leaves.
there.
Leads. We're bereft of leads. There's nothing
LEAD.
else.
Does it look like one unbroken
Yeah.
column of smoke?
I'd say we've got a smoking lead right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a bit nervous, just out of character, of going to a fire that we can see from 24 miles.
That's why I'm at. Is it like a big unbroken column of smoke, or is it like multiple pillars of smoke coming out?
We're kind of out of I don't know. I'm not sure that I'm ready to jump right back into character. I mean, your characters. So Grimes comes back from like the peak, and he's like, guys, there's totally
a campfire, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, and we can see the party can see the smoke, right?
Yep.
Is it one big like column, or does it look like multiple like bits of smoke? Does it look like
It looks like a
fires?
singular source of fire.
Okay.
So I mean, is it like just because it's really clear and it's not actually that much, and we just can see it because it's a clear day, or is it actually like a massive fire?
It is a very clear day. Last we checked, and on top of that, this is a fairly large pillar of smoke. It's not like some little campfire that's going off. It's not like mom and pop's cooking stove and they've got some rice and beans on it. This is a lot more like there's a large fire. There's no way to tell how big of a fire. It could be like a bonfire. It could be a small forest fire. Maybe a building's on fire. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But there's it's a significant fire source with one big plume coming up on a very clear day where there's literally like nothing else in the sky.
When we went back to the cave, were all the bodies of the gnolls that we had killed before still there?
I believe they were not there.
Okay.
I believe
They were gone. They were
Is
gone.
it possible this is basically just one big funeral pyre then?
Very
Just
possible.
burning all their bodies?
They've walked a long way though. If it's just the gnolls,
That's true. They would have had to move their bodies a very
They
long
definitely took all the bodies. That was a thing that I have in my notes.
yeah. But do you not think this is too far to be Bokassa?
And this is a
Definitely not.
trustable note because it's before the one that just says I'm dying in all caps.
No, so since I mean, this is the furthest south we've ever been. But since we first investigated the Knoll tomb, it's been like 2 weeks, right? Because we took a couple days
It's been longer than
rushing
that.
Yarmir's
It's
body.
been like
We
a
were
month or two since we left.
laid out by a blizzard.
Well, we were laid out by a blizzard in the camp as well in the fort.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is the Knolls have had weeks to travel, and they move at least as fast as we do through.
Yeah, but do you think
they probably move faster.
Do you think they would go that far? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. Only one way to find out. So,
Yeah, I
can
mean-
we set the scene? So we're marked on the map, but our characters, I don't know that we have as good of an. Well, yeah. But we've got a camp. We got a tent. We're in a cave.
you are in a cave, a small cave.
And
Small
it's
and comfortable
clear
cave.
and day.
Yeah, let's check the calendar here, everybody. It's a 5 on the weather report coming in from Caledonia Watch.
Nice. Is that good?
Yes, that's good.
I
That
don't- yeah, I
is
don't know what those
a 5 is a calm day.
So,
So
what
I
about?
think, if I recall, I mean, there were a couple of hours burned in the morning last session, right, with me climbing a mountain and back. So is this? So were we at
I
the
think-
campfire that evening, planning?
Yeah,
for
this is
next day?
that evening, or it could be the next day.
Or like mid-afternoon. Okay,
How are we
yeah.
doing for rations then? I've got 12 days, which
Let
isn't
me
that
check my
much.
sheet.
I'm ready to rumble. So like, I can if it's clear tomorrow, I can make it to that next ridge in a day. I'm gonna propose we all move together and
Yeah.
get a better look at what's going on in the coastline.
Yeah, no,
like
that's a good idea.
that's not far. If the day is clear, we can book it.
I like that
Straight
idea.
across.
Go to that next mountain,
I have.
but we do need to be careful about rations.
I don't have any rations on me because we have them all in the sled.
Oh,
That's right.
so
There's
So-
107 days worth of rations in the tomb.
Okay.
I think that
I got 4. I'm outfitted to make a sprint and be back
I think
in a
that
day
of the-
if you guys want to sit tight.
I think that the limiting factor for our travels is going to stop being rations. If you look at the map and where we're going, we're leaving the
That's violent.
forest behind. And I think that the limiting factor for our trips is going to be how much firewood we can carry.
Well,
Because
maybe.
if we get caught in any kind of storm, we will die without
If we-
firewood readily available.
If we go to where Ryan said, and then we could take a different path and go like around the edge of the
Yeah, I was
forest
gonna
like
suggest
that.
we go like up here, and then we can minimize how far we have to travel before we hit another tree.
Okay. But like outside of doing that this one time, right? Like I think that's the most.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Think of.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Neal, did I see any passes in these mountains? Like, say
Not
in these
from
regions here. So,
where- I mean,
so
there-
looking at the aerial view of the map, it looks like there's like 3 or 4 passes between peaks. Is
There-
that just an artistic interpretation of the terrain?
No,
or
there
are
are separate peaks, and it looks like there could be passes in between them, but they're the sort of thing where you'll have to like go and investigate each individual pass, and it may or may not be passable. Like trekking routes through mountains is a time-consuming process. It's the sort of thing that is difficult to do effectively on the go. This is why the Battle of Thermopylae, the ancient famous one, was such a big deal, is because the Persian army didn't have time to find a way through the mountain pass before their supplies started running out because their army was so big. So you can find, you might be able to find a pass through here, but it'll
I
take
think
some
the
time to
Battle of
search it.
Thermopylae may have gone differently if they had a level 4 rogue proficient in mountaineering.
The whole of the Persian Empire, no mountaineers.
I mean that makes sense, right? Persia is essentially like Iran, right? Do they have a lot of mountains there?
Yeah, the
I
Empire was probably
believe
bigger than that,
the Empire was much bigger, but I believe Iran backs up against some large-ass mountains.
I mean, I
Don't
could
they?
still.
We'll get
That was
take
like
a look.
that was like the height. I mean, that battle was so epic because that was like the height of the Persian Empire, right? Empire of empires.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, so
Tehran's at the base of a
King
mountain.
of Kings.
It's also a little overplayed. Like there were only 300 Spartans.
Well, okay, look, the point was not about the Battle of Thermopylae. It was about the difficulty
It
of finding
was-
mountain passes
I
on
mean,
short
it's
notice.
true.
Let's not lose sight of our scope here.
It's
Okay.
symbolic of the trajectory of Western culture at large, right? That's why it's been
So,
to keep
why,
going off the rails.
why don't we get to this? Why don't we see if we can get to this mountain today? I think that's a good goal, right? So we'll try and get.
Right, if
So wait,
we-
wait. Why are we trying to go there
So
exactly?
so check this out. If we don't get lost in the woods, I look pointingly, I think, to Ferris. He can track. He's typically our guide, right?
Kind of. I think Yaramir's your directions guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, if we don't get lost in the woods, we're about the same distance to the tomb, right? Are you guys looking at? Can you see where I'm drawing on the map?
Yeah.
Like it's the same distance from the tomb. I guess it's a couple miles further from where we are, but that doesn't put us in. Like if we get hit by a blizzard or we run, I mean, it looks like a safe place to be. So we spend a day getting over there, and we're still just as far from home, basically.
Right. So
let's
that's
go.
what we'll do in the
Are we
morning.
agreed?
Yeah. I think we'll go there, see if you can see anything interesting from there. Because of those mountains, were those mountains blocking his view, Neal, when he climbed the one we're next to?
Not those little tiny ones at the end.
But could he see into this like non-forested area down
Well,
here?
that's why you can see. That's why we're showing you that non-forested area. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So when actually on that note, then how thick does the tree line look over in this general area? Like, does it look like there'd
That's
be
how
plenty
thick it
of...
looks.
Okay, so it looks like, I mean, noting how far out we are on the map, does it look like there's enough trees that if we got hit by a blizzard, we'd have plenty of firewood to chop down?
I mean, it's a forest. It's noted
It's
on the
like-
map. You're not gonna
Okay,
run
so you're
a forest.
just, I'm basically, because it's so thin, I'm
Ferris,
wondering if it's like, it's an actual forest. You didn't just like dot 7 trees to represent all 7 trees on the coastline, right?
Correct.
It's a forest, and it's already on fire. We don't need to chop down our own firewood.
All right.
Let's go
So
huddle
it's
around it for
divided then.
warmth.
We'll go in the morning.
All right.
Sure, isn't it already in the morning?
I think
I
you
think-
guys cruised around, climbed some mountains, checked some things out, and that was your day.
Okay, so we'll rest
And
up.
we're leaving the 17th of August and moving on to the 18th of August. Please mark off a day of rations.
That's
The 18th of August is a bit of a colder day. The wind starts to pick up a little. The conditions are light, which
Sorry,
means...
who has their own rations?
I have my own rations for 3 more days.
Okay. Sean, no?
no.
Yaramir? No? Okay, so I'll mark off 3. Sorry, Neal.
Oh yeah,
No
I
worries.
guess the tomb. We've got a stash in the tomb, but that's it's back.
Do we have the sled with us?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are the sled. I think we've got some sort of contraption, right, strapped to you.
Yeah, I think-
even with a I think
I think one other person's helping to pull it. I think it has like 2 ropes.
I I think we can do that. We have a bunch
Greg's
of climbing
migraines
harnesses.
are back already.
We have a bunch of climbing harnesses, so if we need to, we can. I think generally it's just
Yeah, I think it's just me.
strapped to William.
I'm halving all weight that's on the sled, right? Neal? So, like, if the sled weighs 20, it's 10 on my character sheet.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think
I
it's
don't remember.
You said it was that, and then if we get a proper one, it's like a fifth of the normal weight or something.
Yeah, something like that sounds familiar. I honestly don't remember. It's been like a month and a half.
all right, so let's go.
let's not bog down our first
Yeah.
first segment back with doing math. We're
Onwards.
eating our way lighter, so I don't think I think
How can it be
trust
D&D
and
if
past
we don't
us
waste
to
our
have-
time doing math?
Okay.
let's
It's a
trust
light
and
day.
past- yeah.
You're headed through the forest, so I will roll a d8 plus 6 for your mobility that day, and we'll see how far you go. How far do you need to go today?
12.
Hopefully 12 to 13
12 miles? Okay, and let's also roll on our encounter table, because you never know what's going to happen.
There's never any bloody encounters down here. It's too
Alright.
cold.
The day passes fairly uneventfully as you make
we
your
scared
way
those kobolds into submission.
as
News
you make
traveled
your
fast.
way across the mountain range or across the forest to the next set of mountains. Here at the base of the mountains, there's not really a solid cave at this edge, but there are definitely like little gullies that you can make temporary shelters out of, especially since you have a few hours left of daylight to work in.
We've got
Yeah.
tents as well, so we can set the tents up. And while we set the tents, I think, Faris, you should check the weather for tomorrow. And
Sure,
Grimes,
yeah.
start thinking about the way up the mountain. It's not worth going up now, right? Because it'll be dark.
Nope. No, I cannot.
So Grimes sets his pack down at the proposed campsite. Is it pretty obvious? Do we find like a nice protected gully that we? are
Yeah,
happy
you find a
with?
spot that's reasonably safe.
Okay. All right. So I leave my backpack there, and I'm gonna try and get a view from the nearest hill.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a mountain climbing check.
Sure.
Or whatever. Yes.
I roll a d20 and I don't roll a 1.
Excellent. You do not fall down the mountain and die this time.
I think it's like a 30, whatever. 35. We're good.
The smoke from the fires is still there, but it is less significant than before. It's now just kind of like a little bit of a drizzle. Maybe like a large fire has used up most of its fuel and it's just kind of smoldering now, something like that.
Is the forest still there, still intact? Like, does
Yes.
it look like can I see visible sections of the forest that
Yes,
have burned?
the forest has not burned down.
Okay, so
it does not
there
look
were-
like there's a forest fire that has gone through the area.
Perhaps, but one or more. Can I gauge how many fires it was? Like, is there like a
still
swath of smoke
seems to
along
be-
the horizon, or is it
It's almost like you
one
have a gauge
bonfire?
skill for something like this.
Oh,
It's almost like I do have the gauge skill for something like this.
yeah.
Gauge is 15. Do you want to assign any
Yeah.
modifiers, or
No, let's just do a straight gauge check. Let's play with this ability a little bit here.
gosh, after seeing all the 5e macros and stuff, it makes me jealous. Let's see,
No,
can
I
I
like
even
it.
write commentary there? Oh, I actually fail.
You know, it's
can I-
hard to tell. It's a not as clear of a day today as it was yesterday. Maybe the reason the smoke looks less significant is that there's actually like a wind blowing things around and some clouds are starting to roll in. You're definitely having trouble figuring out the nature of the fire.
Okay. I climb back to the camp with the weather report.
Did you
Clouds
see
are
anything
rolling
else,
in.
Grimes?
Clouds are rolling in. Is it gonna pick up tomorrow? I look.
Not sure.
to-
It's undecided.
Yaromir has the weather sense, or Ferris?
No, I
does?
do.
Ferris has
Wait,
weather sense. I can omen read.
It's part of survival because I think Weather Sense got the axe.
It did get the axe.
Yaromir, could you consult the your omens and see if we go straight across the snow to the fire, it will be safe?
I can do this, yes. Give me a moment. I am searching for mountain bugs. Like Yaromir is wandering around with one of his empty jars looking for bugs. But for a period of time,
What?
I will give an omen reading. So I sit down and prepare the bones. I go ahead and make sure I sit outside where I can get a clear view of the sky, and I kind of meditate on the strings of power through nature, and I cast the bones and I ask, will the weather be traversable tomorrow?
Okay.
All right. And the bones are cast. You get the reading. Oh no, I can't say that. You get a very good omen for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Okay.
good omen.
So yeah, I'll return to camp and I kind of nod and say, the omens are very good for our travel tomorrow. This next day, I feel, will be a good day for travel.
Then we'll head straight across the ice to the fire, rather than go around the forest. All in
Hopefully we
agreement.
can make it in a day. My sight did not extend beyond a single day this time.
We can always make the decision in the morning if the weather takes a sudden turn.
And Ferris, what's your survival skill?
It's perception, right? I have 14 perception. Oh, it's -2, so 12.
Survival shouldn't be perception. It should be like wisdom.
It's also
something?
a 14. So. Oh wait, no. Hold on, what? Let me double check that thing, because I have 12 written for survival, but hold on.
Survival is 12. So it might be like wisdom or willpower +1 or something.
Yeah, I thought it was perception -2, but I'll look it up right now. Let's just keep going.
Sure.
I'll message it to you.
Right. So you take a look at the
I did
weather.
fail. Yeah.
I rolled it for you in secret.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you may not have failed. You may not be a
oh,
failure.
yeah.
after all.
Intelligence with no modifier, and I believe I have 12 for in, so that'd be where that came from.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll roll your survival checks in secret, so that way if you fail, I can tell you one
Okay,
thing, and
sure.
you
That
might
works
have
for me.
a bad forecast.
Okay.
Your weather forecasting comes back something similar to Yarmir's. There's no storms on the horizon anytime soon. It looks clear for the next few days, actually.
Okay.
Right.
I'll relay that to the party.
Okay, so I think Grimes, as is typical when Yarmir is casting the bones, has made himself scarce.
Yeah.
So as soon as the omen reading starts going, I think I wander into the woods and start kicking around to see if I can. What is the sun still is in the horizon? It hasn't set yet.
It's
Okay,
starting
so-
to fall behind the mountains.
Yeah.
but
So
there's still
I'm not
hours
a
of daylight.
hunter, but I mean that's my goal. So I can have like a non-proficient hunter. Yeah. So I kick around the woods to see if I can find some grub.
Yeah, we need food.
Sure. Give me a
I've got a-
non-proficient hunting check.
Yeah, that's like to provoke a wilderness encounter. Is that the idea? I don't actually have the. I think it's wisdom, correct? Which is not. Do you have a skill for me?
I do, but my desk is really disorganized right now, so I've got to find my books.
This is where you find snow displacer beasts.
Oh my god, Displacer Beast with like a cold-based attack.
Yeah.
You can't
know
touch them
too
and they
well.
just
We're
drain-
hunting-
They don't even do damage, they just drain your warmth points until you freeze.
Oh my god.
It's willpower -1.
Don't give him ideas.
minus. Okay, so I basically
Willpower minus
don't have
6
don't
for
have
you.
any chance unless
Hey,
I
nat
nail-
20,
Oh,
man. Nat 20.
I roll a
Have it.
15. Let me actually double. You said so. My will is 9, but it's -1 minus
And
an
then
additional
-5.
4. Oh, it's -5 being not proficient. So it should actually be lower. It's a +3. So unless there's some fortuitous circumstance pushing the odds out of my favor, I think I just kick around the woods for a while.
Yeah, you don't
And
find
actually,
any
I think
animals.
my will is awful. I think I give. What happens is I give up. I go out looking for food, and then I'm like, screw it. I'm chopping wood instead.
All right.
And
I mean, I will.
at least with
I will-
something to show for it.
I'll ask Faris if he can go and try and find some food, though.
Okay. I mean, we have
Yeah.
100
We've
days.
got, we've got a couple of. No, we don't have 100 days. We've got 9 days.
Wait, what?
Well, because the 100 days is in the tomb.
You didn't bring. Okay.
No,
All right,
because we
Ferris
went-
is
we
gonna go out
went
hunting today, I guess.
Yeah. There's 107 days in the tomb, but I've only got 9 on me, and then Grimes has got 3 on him, so we've got 4 days.
All right.
good if we
Give me a hunting
got
check,
closer.
Sean.
Yeah. So for me, it's survival. I can find food to forage. And I
Oh,
believe I can
right.
also. It's just any like ambient food that you would normally get in the kind of climate that I'm in.
He's gonna bring back his carry-on.
So D20 plus
That's
12. That's a fail.
No.
Right, yeah, that's the sort of thing that you should do somewhere in the middle of the day, because that will decrease the total miles that you can go in a day if you're going to spend time.
Okay.
So good thing that you failed. It's fine. It's fine.
That's probably why I failed then.
Yeah,
I tried
it's-
to like not slow the group down. I wasn't able
So
to.
let's mark rations for today then.
All right,
I
everyone.
thought, wait, you
we
didn't
already-
bring all the rations when we brought the sled with us?
Well,
Yeah, that's
when the session started, we weren't in the Null Tomb, and I only had 12 days on my character sheet, so I guess that's what we had. I mean,
we're
yeah.
we're probably 2 good days from the.
We'll be able
So
to
we
hunt
shouldn't-
on the coast. Surely we'll be able to do some fishing or something.
Hey,
All right. If we starve to death, I'm blaming you. I mean, to be fair, we did
I mean, you
last
can't-
for like multiple weeks with no food and Hardcore Heroes
can't
other
blame
sides. So.
me.
fair warning, Captain. My loyalty only goes as far as the rations. When we're out of rations, I'm not eating that elf's jerky.
That's fine, but I don't know where else you're gonna go. I mean, you can't exactly abandon us out here.
Just saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, the omens look good, so I think I'm sure we'll find some food tomorrow on the way.
All right.
So while they have this very serious conversation, Yaromir is wandering around the like mountain area nearby, searching for a second thing to put in his jars.
What is the second thing that you're looking for?
Well, we're in a kind of a mountainous area here, so it's less likely you're going to find mountain bugs. But I mean, if there are mountain bugs, that would be cool. I'm thinking of like a mushroom or something that likes a cold, kind of dark place. It's hidden away from the sun. Maybe like an interesting form of lichen.
Yes. There is lichen on some of these boulders in this canyon that you're near.
Very cool.
It's a kind of soft teal color.
Awesome. So I'm going to spend some time like going through the lichen, searching for like a good like set of stones that I can kind of arrange in the jar so that I can get them like fully covered in this lichen, and add some. I'll go find some like drops of water, like from like maybe I like put an ice cube under my armpit for a while and like let it kind of start melting and drop some water in there to keep them fed, and poke some some holes in the top of the jar so I can get this like lichen colony growing.
Okay. All right. I don't
think
know
while
anything
he's
about raising lichen, but we'll figure this out together. Yeah, you totally do it.
While he's away, I'll speak to Grimes and Faris if Faris is there, but at least
Yeah,
Grimes.
sure. I think Ferris like went out for a bit, realized there was no hope, like just doing a rush job for foraging, kind of just came back.
Have either of you been out with Yaromir when he goes exploring every night when we camp?
No.
He goes out at night.
Yeah, look, where is he now?
I
He's
stand
gone
up. Yeah, I stand up. Suddenly realizing, where is he?
What
Does
could he be
this every
doing
night,
out there?
there's no need to panic.
Let's ask him. So I think I'm gonna ask Yaromir what he's.
I think before Yaromir gets back, I will. I don't necessarily role play shit. Well, yeah.
What? Yeah, it's something you
I
want to
will
say?
divulge that Yaromir gives me the willies.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I imagine everybody
I
different from you gives you the
everyone
willies.
Have you ever seen him with that mirror? I mean, he's an odd one. I mean, Faris,
No, I mean like
you're an odd one.
like dark shit, like sorcery.
Well, yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's why he's here, but there's a fine line.
Like
Let's just make sure. I'm just going to ask him what he's doing. So, I think we're
I
all...
still have the scars, William. And I like
From what?
I don't know if I can pull back a sleeve or whatever to show where his burning touch was.
You've got like a
You
like
let
a
him
hand
burn
print.
you, of course you're scarred.
To be fair, though, I think we might have froze to death if it wasn't for that.
We'd be better
Look,
off cold.
there's a reason why we brought a wizard here, and it's to be expected that we don't all understand exactly what he's doing, but it's good to have an idea of what he's up to at least. So I think we should just ask him. I'm sure he'll be upfront with his.
Do you think you'll know what he's talking about? If it's in
I
some
don't-
way related to his arcane practices, do you think you're going to understand it?
I just want to make sure that he's not, I don't know, summoning whatever demon cast his place into ice in the first place, or doing I don't want him to have taken any samples of that weird body that we found. I just want to make sure that he's not doing anything too crazy.
Cue Yaromir coming back.
Oh,
Guys,
that
I found some
reminds
lichen.
Yeah. Oh, the next time we find a body, I need to write that down. I need to collect some of the pots. I totally forgot that I wanted to
So-
do that.
Can we
So
can
what-
we say that Yaramir walked back just as William
Yes.
was saying that and gave him the idea?
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
fine. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So Yaramir, where have you been? It's dangerous out there for
I proudly produce from under my robes the jar with lichen in it, these like small kind of stones just covered in it. And I'm like, look, I have found teal-colored lichen of type I have not seen before. I believe they grow in colder, darker climates with damp water, yes.
Can we eat this?
I would not suggest it. I have known some fungi to be a good time, but sometimes if you have wrong fungi, it can be bad.
So why do you collect it? For your spells?
Well, there is potential. Some of my spells require these things.
I'd like you to keep me in the loop of what you're working on.
Yes.
As much as you can.
I will show you. I will show you other thing. And I pull out from my robes. There's a jar with like an ant colony in it. These big furry orange ants that I keep putting like leaves and sticks and things into for them. Like this is ant colony. I have dubbed these furry orange ants. I am very bad at naming things.
How big are they?
How big were the furry ants? Weren't they like knuckle sized?
Yeah, they were pretty big.
Yeah, they were large. They're pretty big for ants. I've like scraped up a bunch of the bark from the tree they were on, and I've like put in some other things in there as we've traveled. And I kind of set them down, and I pull out my other jars and say, I hope to feel the rest of these.
You're documenting the wildlife. Faris, did you ever see ants like that in the south of Drekis?
I don't believe so. I didn't see anything similar to it, did I?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
This place has
Not
its own.
particularly.
It must
It is
have its
across
own-
an ocean. I'm not too surprised at the notion of them having different species.
These are strange-looking ants, though. All right, well, good to know, Yaramir. Good to
I kind of nod and just like quietly put them back in my robes.
All right. Well, I think we should get some sleep. Let's want to head out early, first light. Make sure that we make it to that fire.
All right. I think. Oh,
During my watch, I'm going to shake William awake.
Okay, so I think I like wake up and immediately hand goes to my sword.
No need for that. He's only me. We're not under attack. I want to have talk. You are family man, yes?
Let's move away from the others. I'll get up and move towards where you're sitting for your watch.
Please. We'll go sit like at the edge of the cave. I make you some really fucking terrible tea, right? Like there's just some really bad tea.
Too polite to say anything. Thank you.
Yeah.
At least it's warm.
It probably is like it is. If you were British, you would be like insulted by the quality of this tea, right?
I am British and I am insulted.
I didn't know William was British. This is good to know. We must talk about a strange isle country you are from. I sit there kind of quietly for a moment and I say, I'm embarrassed to say in front of others, but perhaps you will understand. You're a family man, no?
Yes.
I was too once, long ago, in another life. These jars, not really for me. If perhaps I find spell component is good thing, but there is young girl in the fort. Reminds me very much of
I've seen
someone
you
I
spending
used to
time
know.
with her. Amelie, right?
Yes, Amelie. I do these things to give gift to her. But perhaps more than that is for me, is for my own memory. You see, when I left Matava after many years, wife and I have child, and we live in small community for a while. And one day, I had to leave to go to tend to a disease that had broken out. While I was gone, people who were distrustful of my nature, people like Grimes, they come and burn down house with wife and child inside.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's awful.
My girl used to collect things like this. So in some ways, like honoring memory.
I understand. I'm sorry that that's happened to you. And we each have to do what we need to do to keep ourselves sane out here, but just don't be putting yourself in danger going around looking for strange animals. We've got a task at hand, and that's our number one priority.
Well, yes, you are right, but in some way this is more important to me than this icy wasteland. Also, I would prefer to keep this under wraps, if you would. I have cultivated specific, I don't know, identity in camp. I would like to keep it.
Well, it's certainly humanizing. It's good to have something to relate you with. Look, it's almost my watch anyway. Why don't you go and get some sleep?
All right. Thank you.
And I think on that note, we are going to go to our first break here. This is a wonderful little spot to pause. And we'll see you guys in a few minutes with a little bit more Frozen Frontier. Bye-bye.